Hey guys, welcome back to another People Card reading. So today's reading, okay, just a disclaimer before we start. It's really late. It's like 2 a.m. or something, maybe later. So if I'm like whispering, I'm sorry. Like I have family that's sleeping hours, and all my other videos that I wanted to upload, they didn't like work out. So yeah, but today's reading is going to be who are you truly, really truly. So I have 5 groups here. I was going back and forth in my head trying to figure out what I wanted to do for this reading, how I wanted to make this work. So I'm actually going to just read some messages for you, read some words, and like go off of intuition, and then maybe clarify with some other cards. But before we get started, for picking each group, I have my little deck of clarifiers here. So I'm gonna pull some words out, and whichever word resonates the most with you, you can pick that one. So here we go. So for group 1, your word is opportunity. Group 2, your word is ideas. Group 3, your word is stability. Group 4, your word is introspection. In group 5, your word is pain. So go ahead and choose whichever word resonated the most with you. And we're going to get started right now with group 1. So, group 1. So I'm using my little Ariana Grande deck. I made like a deck of songs from her, so I'm gonna read the song that I chose, and we're gonna like dive into what you like. I also have some other cards here to clarify. But with opportunity, though, this is actually the card that is related to you. So you probably have a lot of opportunities that come into your life. They might come into your life out of the blue. They might be just opportunities that you stumble upon when you're just out there enjoying your life. They could also come when you are not enjoying your life, when your life is really difficult and things aren't going the best. Opportunities could just spring out of the blue. You probably always have some type of backup plan, or just something that you can fall back on if something bad happens, is what I see with opportunity. It can also talk about from a very young age, you've always had people looking out for you, looking out for things that you could do. Yeah, you probably also had a lot of money opportunities too. So just opportunities to make money, just go out and to make money. You could have been like a young musician maybe. You might have gone out and formed a band and just done anything, you know. So you've probably had a lot of opportunities to become maybe a more well-known, like a famous person maybe. But if not, you've just had a lot of opportunities to thrive in your life, which is really good. So the song that you got by Ariana Grande is Right There. And I'm going to read the lyrics, and I'm going to describe what you're like. So the lyrics are, you should know I'm never going to change. I'm always going to stay. You called for me, I'm right there. And if you never change, I'm going to stay right there. So for some of you, this screams to me Capricorn. I don't know why. It just screams Capricorn, or maybe even any air sign, because air signs are they're always there to lean on, I guess, in a way. They're very stable people. So you're probably a Capricorn or a Taurus or a Virgo. But you're somebody can lean on. You're like a shoulder to cry on. You probably are financially like stable, so people like that about you, and they like that if something happens, you know, you're there to catch them. You might have kids that are like young, so you know, you're that safety blanket that catches them. But if not, you're definitely that shoulder to cry on or someone to lean on, and you're always there. You're probably a very loyal person, and you're also very loyal in love as well, is what I'm seeing. I don't know why, but like father figure popped into my head. I know personally my dad, he's always there for me, so this would definitely resonate. about him, but like you're somebody that people can depend on, I feel like. And you're probably not a very like changey person. You don't change your mind a lot. You're very stubborn. You might be fixed person. So you could also be a fixed sign. So fixed signs are like Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, or what am I missing? It's one of the fire signs. I think it's not Sagittarius. It's not Aries. What's the other? Leo? Yeah, Leo. You could be a Leo. But I get that you are a rock in people's life. You are not non-moving, always going to be there, which is really good. So I got a few more energies for you, and then I'm going to pull some clarifiers and see what else we can get at. So I have messages. You could work in a career that involves messaging people. You could be a person who markets a lot. You could just like to be on Messenger, like Facebook. You might just like to send messages, letters. This could also talk about messages is like in your chart, in your birth chart, you could have a lot of Mercury. Mercury is the planet of messages and communication. So you could have a lot of Mercury. You could be a Gemini or have Gemini in your chart heavy. You could be a Gemini moon. I'm a Gemini moon, so but you could be a Gemini. But definitely you might have a lot of Mercury in your chart. And if Mercury is also Virgo's planet as well, so you could be a Virgo, like I was saying. But you might just like to send a lot of messages, talk to people over like texts and emails and stuff. You might just like to talk to people, period, be like the little messenger person, and just interact with a lot of people all the time. So that's what I'm getting for that. You could also be like a post person, like a male person, like mailman, male woman. You might also be a receptionist. Oh no. We have jealousy. You might be a very jealous person. Which, I mean, we all have our flaws, right? You could be a jealous person. You could have a lot of jealous people around you. I see with opportunity there, you have a lot of success in your life, so people might look at that and get jealous of you. But you could just be jealous in yourself, and that might be from the fact that you are a loyal person, like we said with the right there card. You could be just a very loyal person, and you expect loyalty back, and you know, you get jealous. Maybe past relationships have been very difficult for you because someone was always looking at your partner and you got jealous, you know. But it happens. That's what I'm getting for jealousy. And then the last card is sacred. So you could be a very spiritual person. You might have that mentality of my body is a temple. So you might take very, very good care of your body. You could work out a lot. You could go out and like eat really healthy. I'm getting Virgo vibes again. Virgos are freaks about like health and stuff. I have a Virgo rising, so I know what it's like. You could be into like maybe different types of religions as well. Very religious person. Very spiritual as well. You might do tarot as well, for some of you. I get sacred is an interesting word. I keep getting books. I keep getting like an image of books. Maybe you like read a lot about spirituality. Just the image of books. Maybe a cult. I don't know. Some of you might be really interested or involved in some type of occult situations. I'm getting candles as well. I keep seeing candles. Candle magic. Yeah. Definitely some spiritual stuff there. So that's all I'm getting for that. And then we're going to get a couple clarifiers and then we'll move right on. Okay, so let's see what comes up. Okay. Okay, so we have a couple cards, and I'll shuffle again in just a second. So the first card we have is the Seven of Wands. Oh my God, this light. The Seven of Wands. This is the card of like blockages. You could be the type of person that is always seems to be defending themselves for some reason. and maybe it's about family. You have loyalty there, so you could be a defender of your family. You could be standoffish. For some of you, you might be very standoffish, not really liking to interact and talk to people, or your demeanor is kind of reserved and not really into others, which is very conflicting with that messages card that I just read. But for some of you, this is the case. For some of you, I feel like maybe you have a job that requires you to work a lot and to fight. Maybe it's like a competitive field, like maybe you work in sales or some type of retail environment where you're always trying to fight off your coworkers. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for that. The next card we have is the Four of Swords. Jesus, you can't say that. The Four of Swords. The Four of Swords talks about rest. You might really like vacations. You might really like to rest and relax and just chill out. You might meditate a lot. That also comes from that sacred card. You might meditate quite a bit. Again, I'm getting religious vibes with this stained glass window here. Very religious vibes. There might be a sense of urgency within you. I don't know if you can see the card that well, but no, you cannot. Okay. Over that yellow figure that is laying down, there are 3 swords hanging there. If you know the Rider-Waite tarot, you know what I'm talking about. But this could signify a sense of urgency all the time. This might be why you have that messenger card, because some of you, like I said, are Geminis. You're always speeding around everywhere doing things. There's just this sense of urgency a lot of the time. But for most of you, I'm seeing that you're just a really chill person. You just like to relax. Yeah. Some of you might be dealing with some type of illness as well, or recovering from an illness, I feel like. So I have to throw that in there. The last card is the Lovers. So I didn't want to make this a love reading, but I did get the inkling that there was some love here, especially with loyalty. So you could be married. You could be in a very committed relationship. You could be sexually independent, sexually free and open. You like to express that part of yourself, which is pretty neat. You might really like to be outside in nature. But what I'm seeing for the Lovers, though, is that you are in love with somebody. I feel like you are in love. You might have a position in work or just in life where you make a lot of tough decisions for the better. You might make them out of love as well. So that's what I'm getting for you, number 1, group 1. I hope this helped you. I was gonna pull some more, but I guess I could pull one more for you guys. Okay, that's the last card. So we have the Queen of Cups. Oh shit, the Queen of Cups. For some of you, you might be a water sign, so a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But for some of you, you're just a really sensitive, a wise person. Like I said, that spiritual connection, that psychic stuff. You're psychic for some of you. You might also like to be around water a lot, and you might even really like going to the beach. You might also be, there's like a trophy in this photo, that yellow thing right there. So you might be like an athlete or some type of like person who wins like a lot of trophies as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you guys. I hope this helped. I hope you're good, and I'll see you later. Bye. Group 2. We finally made it. Okay. So you guys showed ideas. With ideas, I feel like I'm gonna just start off with this, and then I have a card I'm gonna read in just a second. So with ideas, I feel like a lot of you have a lot of ideas. But I feel like you are very creative people. You like to create a lot. You have a lot of ideas in your head. You might be a Gemini, might be an Aquarius, might be a Libra. Just that air energy of like, gotta do this, gotta do that. Have a lot of ideas in your head. You're like a child. You might be like not a child, but you might have like a child aura about you. You know how kids always come up with crazy ideas. You might be one of those people who has that childlike aura about you, about creating ideas. You might work in a field that requires you to come up with a lot of ideas to move forward in projects. Yeah, that's what I'm doing for that. So I have a card for you. This is going to describe you. This is my Ariana Grande deck. It's a song, and it's going to describe how you are. And I'm going to read you the song and the lyrics. The song is called Baby I, and here are the lyrics, just like a little chunk of it. So it's, when I try to explain it, I be sounding all crazy. Words don't ever come out right. All I'm trying to say is you're my everything. Some of you, especially with this ideas card, some of you might have trouble communicating your ideas to people, which is, it's normal. It's not something that's horrible. Some of you might be deeply in love with somebody. Or you have a major crush, or maybe you have a lot of crushes on people. I'm sorry, there's like, don't even worry about it. You have a lot of, you might have like a throat chakra issue. You don't know really how to talk a lot. Or maybe you don't talk a lot, but you have a lot of ideas, which is very conflicting for you. But some of you are, you're just like really like people sometimes. Like you get a crush and you're crazy about them. And you might get multiple crushes and you want to tell them, but you just can't for some reason. Alright, so let's get into some more energies about who you are. So we have difficulty. So you might tend to have a lot of difficulties in your life, a lot of struggles and challenges. This could be one of them with this throat chakra thing, can't really speak a lot. You could have had difficulties growing up, in your childhood. You might have difficulties that followed you from there and now that are really affecting you. Some of you might be going through a dark night of the soul phase, where you're going through a spiritual awakening and cleansing yourselves of all that negative stuff from past lives and this life and all that. But for some of you, sometimes you're just dealing with difficulties. Some of you are dealing with mental illnesses, and just mental blockages like depression, things like that. There's a lot of difficulty in your life. There might be difficulty in your home life, your domestic life, like your family life. You might have a lot of dysfunctional family issues. Some of you just have difficulties with, like, I get bipolar. Someone might be bipolar. Like manic bipolar. But that's like very few of you. You might have trouble just getting out of bed in the morning. You might have difficulty thinking positively. But there is difficulty here, is what I'm seeing. We have change. So like I said, a lot of you are going through that dark night of the soul phase. You're changing things a lot about yourself, about how you handle things, about how you see things. This could also just mean that you go through a lot of changes in your life. This could be with friends, family, lovers, situations. You change a lot of things around. You could be a very changey type of person. You just up and change things. This could be from the way you dress, the way you look, the way you present yourselves to other people. This could be simply the way your living room looks. But you change things a lot, and you change a lot. And maybe you change more than most people do. Maybe you have a sense of not knowing who you truly are, and that might be why you came to this video. You don't know who you truly are, so you change a lot of things about yourself because you don't have really like a pinpoint, like, yes, I'm this type of person in you, and it causes you to change and try out a lot of different things, like new looks and new types of makeup and friends and people. Like, you change up a lot. You change up a lot for some of you. We have loss. So a lot of you are going through losses. This is like very, like, all these cards are like connected very closely. A lot of you go through a lot of loss. You might have lost a lot of loved ones in your life. You've probably lost a lot of things, period. This could be about like family to friends to just things that you've had. Maybe you've had it for a minute and it was gone the next. I think you might have learned to cope with that, though, to deal with that, to handle that. But it seems to happen a lot in your life, especially with that difficulty and changes. For some of you, this is all connected, and you're going through this difficulty and you're changing things and you're losing things all at the same time. And it's like the dark night of the soul phase. That's what's going on with you right now. But that is probably your like base personality. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clarify some things about you. Let's see what comes out of the deck. Came out reversed. And let's get one more. Okay, so what came out, we have the King of Wands first. So a lot of you could be fire signs or have fire in your chart. We have Leo heavy energy. I don't know why I always see this as Leo. Some of you are very headstrong. You're very fiery, passionate. Do things your own way. Not afraid to tell anybody anything. Like I said, this conflicts with that throat chakra thing. But you might be very passionate, have a lot of ideas. So you could be very open to some people, but not all people. Maybe your friends and family. I'm getting that some of you like the desert. There is a salamander here at the bottom, right there. I just got desert. I don't know. Some of you like the desert though. But you're very passionate nonetheless. We got the Page of Swords in reverse. A lot of you overthink a lot. I think you have bouts of like depression. Not wanting to go outside, not wanting to do anything. You might gloss over important details about things and people that later come up, and you had an inkling about it, but maybe you just tried to ignore it, or you subconsciously ignored it. But whatever the case, the page is in reverse. So a lot of you are hermits by choice. You might have agoraphobia, which is the fear of leaving the house. That is a possibility for somebody. You might avoid conflict a lot for whatever reason. I don't know why I got that from this card, but you might tend to avoid conflict a lot. The last card we have is the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like normally this talks about really good luck, but for you guys, I feel like this talks about this constant cycle of good luck and bad luck, especially with all the cards I just read. You're constantly going through good things and bad things all the time, which is life. But for you specifically, it just feels like it never really ends anywhere. You just are going through it. It's either really, really good or really, really bad. And for a lot of times, it might feel really, really bad. Just a little bit of advice that if it does feel bad, a lot of the time, when it doesn't feel bad, and when it does feel bad, try to focus on the good things. It really does help. But yeah, I just get that there's a lot going on in your life all the time, and it's constantly shifting and changing, and it's sometimes really good and really bad. It's just a cycle. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. I'll do one more card. I did that with group 1, so I'll just shuffle for one more card, and then I'll end it. That fell. It's the Nine of Pentacles, though. It's sideways also. You might be trying to be independent right now, like financially. Maybe you have trouble with your finances. For some of you, I'm trying to get this card. The card's always falling. You might also like birds. Oh, now I can see the card. You might like birds. You might be very wealthy, though. You experience a lot of bouts of just money in your hand out of nowhere. You might go on vacation a lot, or you might not. For some of you, you are super religious, or you might attend a church that has a lot of outings, like outside or something to that nature. You like nature also, for some of you. I feel like you're also a really confident person, because we have like yellow in this photo. and I can't remember exactly what chakra that is, but it's really positive. I think it's the solar plexus. Yeah, that's the chakra. So you're very confident, I feel like. Yeah, but you probably have a lot of money or experience bouts of money all the time. All right, group 2, thank you for watching. I hope this helped you, and thanks, I guess. All right, bye. Group Trace. So we have stability for you guys, getting heavy earth energy. So you might be an earth sign or have earth just splattered all in your chart. Because for some of you, you are, I know, like this guy, like heavy Capricorn energy in his chart. Like 6 of his planets are Capricorn. They're in Capricorn. Insane, but stability. You're a very stable person. You probably don't date people who aren't. I don't know why I got that, but I did. You just like having what you need to have. For some of you that are older, there's probably hasn't been a time in your life where you didn't have it all together. I mean, you know, we all have to get it together. But for you guys, I see that there wasn't a time in your life where you were just chilling, laying back, like, yeah, I'll just let so-and-so take care of it, you know. There's, you've always been like, let me go out and get it myself type of deal. That's what I see with stability. But you're just a stable person, and that could be inside you and outside of you. So with your material things and within yourself, you're a stable person. You might not get into arguments with people. I'm sorry, that's weird. You might not get into a lot of arguments with people. You might just say, okay, whatever, I'm gonna move on. That type of energy. I'm getting plants. I don't know why I'm getting plants, but some of you really like plants, and I don't know why I get that from this card. I have a card from my Ariana Grande deck. It talks about, I already took a peek at it, but it talks about it's a song and some lyrics, but I'm gonna gain some insight from this, but I already know what it is. The song is called Hands on Me, and here are some of the lyrics. Keep your hands on me, don't take them off until I say so. Let me break you off. Baby, take it off. Making love. You just keep your eyes on me, you know what. Some of you are very sexual people. This whole card is just about sex. Y'all really like to do it. That's cool. You might just also be a sensual person. You might also like to dance a lot. And dance with people touching on you, is what I'm getting from that. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting. So, I got a little more for you, and then I'm going to clarify a little more, and then we'll be a Gucci gang, right? So we have options first. Can you see it? Options. A lot of you had a lot of options in life, I feel like, or you do currently. You have a lot of options for love, work, what else? Money, options, how to make money. But whatever the case, you've probably always had options of what to do and how to gain some type of abundance in your life. But I feel like because of this, you're like very specific, and that's why you've always had a lot of options to choose from, because maybe you are pretty specific. I'm getting maybe Virgo vibes, very picky people. But if not that, you just have a lot of options to choose from. If something doesn't work out over here, you can do something over here and it'll be fine. You might also have a lot of options of how to look, and that's weird, but like maybe you have a certain like way that you like to look, and maybe you have like 5 different styles that you go off of, and that's like the options that you have. Like, oh, today I want to look like this, today I want to look like this, you know, it's that type of thing. I mean, most people have that, but I feel like for you guys, like, you drastically change from like maybe like you dress like an anime character one day, and then the next day you look like someone who just came out of a 50s movie or something, you know. It's kind of weird, but you have a lot of options with what you like to wear, and how to look. This could also be places to live as well. So you could have a lot of options of where you want to live. I feel like a lot of you are very well off. So you have a lot of options. If you want to get up and go, you can. There won't be any problems with that. It's not like that type of deal where you're stuck in one place and you have to stay there. I feel like, especially for some of you don't have kids, so it's easy to just hop up and do anything you want to do. Yeah. The next card is fear. So you could have a fear of something. This is a very general reading, but I'm going to throw some scenarios out there for you. You might just have a fear of losing money. I looked at stability, and I see there might be a fear of losing money, fear of intimacy, fear of losing everything. That could be a major thing that you have an issue with. Maybe that's why you've worked so hard for where you are, because for most of you, I feel like you've worked very hard, or you're on your way to being very successful, and you might have this fear of being broke or being vulnerable, and it's caused you to continue to work very hard for what you have. Getting heavy Capricorn vibes, but there's just this underlying fear that's out there for you. I feel like that is the fear. There is no other fear. If there is another fear, it might be related to love. It might be that you have this aura that you send off to other people, and you don't really like to get like personal with people. So in love, you might have had a lot of options, and maybe the reason why you felt that way, or you felt like you just did, is because when you did find somebody, and when you wanted to be intimate with them, it was too much for you for whatever reason. And I feel like it's this fear of really opening up and showing your true self for some of you, or just this fear of losing maybe all those other options. Maybe you are validated by other people, by lots of other people, and you didn't want that. That's for maybe a very small group of you. The last card is victorious. So like I thought before, a lot of you are very successful people, and you have had a lot of victory and are having a lot of victory in your life, and you're definitely celebrating it every single day that you're alive. Yeah. This is Six of Cups energy. A lot of you are the Six of Wands energy. A lot of you are probably, I just shuffled my cards, by the way. A lot of you are, if you look at the Six of Wands card, it has a lot of people in it. So you might be publicly known, very publicly recognized. So a lot of people might know you, or you might be famous, a celebrity. But if not, you just experience a lot of victory in your life. You can also be very confident. I get that from this card as well. So I'm going to pull a few more cards for you, and then you're done. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Is that the card I think it is? That's probably a better card. So we have Temperance. So this is what I thought about you guys. You guys are very stable people. You're very balanced. You're not dealing with a lot of ex-lovers anymore. You've gotten past a lot of lessons in your life. You're not really on that anymore. A lot of you are just balanced. You have your own shit. You don't need to be codependent on somebody. You have it, I have the Hanged Man here. A lot of you have probably sacrificed a lot to get where you are right now, is what I get from that. Maybe you went through a lot of bouts of confusion as to what to do. Maybe it's because you had all of those options before, but when you finally figured it out, I feel like it worked out great for you. There's Nine of Swords here. That's back to that fear card. You're scared of something. Maybe something keeps you up at night. Okay, for those of you who are really into astrology, I have this aspect in my chart. I think it's like what is that planet? Is it Jupiter or something? There is one planet that I think it is Jupiter. I have Taurus in it, I believe. I have to double check. But it is like an aspect, and it destroys how you feel about stability, because it makes you feel as though you are about to like lose everything and end up on the street and end up homeless. Some of you might have that aspect in your chart. I'm going to look it up and get back to you on that. But some of you have that aspect, and I will let you know what that is. Like, I'm going to insert a clip so I can show you, because some of you have that aspect, and I will let you know, because it causes you to feel like even though you're very successful, like you're going to lose it all. And this might be from past relationships with your family who have like always worried about money, so you feel like you have to worry about money. You feel like you can end up on the street. Maybe you've never ended up on the street, but you feel that way. A lot of you have that here, and it keeps you up at night. And maybe since now you're super duper successful, like it really keeps you up at night because you're feeling like you have to work really hard. And some of you don't have to work really hard anymore. Maybe you're at this point where you're sitting back and relaxing, but you're still worried that something is going to happen. And maybe in the past things have happened. Maybe in your childhood, your family has gone through bouts of like not knowing what to do and how are we going to make money. So, you know, it followed you throughout your life. But we do have the 10 of Cups here. So a lot of you are married, you have kids. For some of you are just married. You have a lot of success and abundance in your life. You might own property, you might have a house, you might own land. But like I said, there's still that feeling of fear for some reason. So I hope this helped group 3. Almost said 4. Group 3, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope this gave you a little more insight into yourself. Let me know if I was right. I mean, this was very specific, so I hope I helped you. All right, bye. Group 4, hi, how are you? So we have introspection for you guys. Introspection is an interesting card. A lot of you, you're very to yourself. You're like the hermit card. You're very just into yourself. You don't talk to a lot of people. It might be because you think a lot with introspection. For a lot of you, you question yourself. You question why you do a lot of things. Some of you have really bad habits, and you question, why do I do that thing? There's just a lot of introspection here. A lot of you might, okay, I'm being told things like in my head, like from spirit. I'm getting dark blue. Some of you really like dark blue. I don't know. But I'm also getting Mercury and Gemini. So some of you might be a Gemini. We've been getting a lot of either like, you're either like an earth sign or an air sign, and it's either Capricorn or Gemini in either of these readings. So it's no water signs, it's no fire signs. It's like you're either this or you're this. But I see a lot of you might be, what's the sign? Geminis. So, or Virgos as well. So I have a card here. It's the Ariana Grande deck. I made it. It has a song on it. It has some lyrics. I'm going to take what I see off of this card, and I'm going to let you know what I feel about it, but I'm going to read you the lyrics. So the song is called No Tears Left to Cry, and the lyrics go, right now I'm in a state of mind. I want to be in like all the time. So I'm picking it up. Ain't got no tears in my body. I ran out, but I like it. With the introspection card, I feel like that talks about how you go through a lot of cycles of feeling really down and then feeling really good again. And it might be because I can't think of that word. It's like when you cut off something. But it's like when you cleanse yourself of bad habits and things like that, and you focus more on, well, not really focus more on, but you focus on just cleansing out your energies and bringing in new ones a lot. I see that for you guys. You might also cry a lot. Some of you are Cancers out there, or just any water sign, or you just might be really sensitive as well. But I feel like this card gives off a very cheerful vibe, so you might be very happy most of the time. The first card is Misery. A lot of you are sad all the time. That's that cycles thing. You're going through a lot of stuff all the time. So a lot of you are miserable. It might be from something that happened in the past for you. It might be something that's still happening now. But you're just miserable, and maybe that's why you go through these bouts of like introspection, and I still can't think of that word. But you go through a lot of bouts of introspection and just thinking about, like, what is it that I need to get rid of? And it's because you're miserable for whatever reason. We also have impede. So there's a lot of things that are stopping you from becoming maybe the person that you want to be. And it might be yourself. It might be this misery. It might be this constant cleansing and changing. And still can't think of that word, but just constant working on yourself. Because you know it might be impeding your progress in your life, your abundance. I feel like a lot of you deal with that. Maybe you have a spiritual awakening that's happening, dark night of the soul type of deal. So you are working towards getting rid of a lot of energies that don't serve you right now and just trying to move forward the best way that you can. But there is temptation. A lot of you are really into your own ways. You are stuck in your ways. Some of you, it's like rehab. It's like, I've mentioned this before as an example. You go to rehab, everything's going good, and then you relapse. And it sucks. A lot of you are cutting off these negative energies, but they keep coming back for whatever reason. Maybe, let's just use like a small example. Like maybe you smoke cigarettes, and you know they're not good for you. You know they're not helping you. So you stop doing them, and you're going good. You're going straight. You're going really good. But then you get upset. Something happens, and you go right back to it because it's your comfort. It's something that makes you just comfortable. It's like your safety blanket. But the problem with that is that you can't grow from that. And eventually, when you keep going to rehab, and it starts to really work, which would be the equivalent of like really healing yourself, when you start really doing that, one day those cigarettes won't matter anymore. They won't give you that same comfort feeling. You'll be like, I don't need this anymore, you know? So my advice is to fight that temptation because you're trying to grow, and I can see it in this reading. So I'm going to pull out some. Okay, so something strange just happened. So I picked up this deck. This was sitting on top of another deck, and these 3 cards came out. So these might be important for you. I don't want to leave them out of the reading. These are playing cards, so I'm just going to read them like they're tarot. So we have the 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles is about working with others. A lot of you might work with other people. You might have a lot of friends. You might be builders. This doesn't resonate, but this might resonate. This doesn't resonate with like me, like with the reading, but I feel like it might resonate for some of you. We have the Ace of Pentacles as well. So you might have a lot of opportunities, or very soon you might be offered an opportunity to grow very, very soon. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So a lot of you are very witty, know exactly what you need to do. You might be an air sign. Finally, we have air signs in here. Oh, shit. Sorry. I'm like waving my arms around. Let me sit still. You are an air sign, or you might just be super witty. So you might be a Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or you might just have it in your chart. Yeah, that's for some of you. I'm gonna shuffle real quick. Just a few cards. That landed weird. Okay. Here, I'll shuffle an extra card for the end, and I'll put it over here. Because for every group, I've been like shuffling that extra card, so I have it out now. So the first card that came out is the 9 of Cups. So for a lot of you, there's something that you wished for recently, and that might be why you're going through this phase of cleansing yourself. And I think the word I was looking for was detoxing. You're detoxing yourself. But there's this wish that you've asked for, and in exchange for this wish for to come true for you, you've had to cleanse yourself. But for some of you, this is just you living your best life. Can you see the card? Barely. You're living your best life right now. You're very happy with where you are, even though you are cleansing constantly, detoxing and letting things go. But I feel like you are very, very happy and satisfied. With the High Priestess in reverse, can't see the damn card. With the High Priestess in reverse, I feel like a lot of you are dealing with, I don't know. The High Priestess in reverse normally talks about when you're listening to your intuition, because normally you would listen to your spirit guides. So you might be listening to your intuition at this point in time. That's really what I'm getting from this, and that's why you're going through this cleansing phase. And it's happening very quickly with the 8 of Wands. You could also be communicating with a lot of people as well. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. You might be waiting on some abundances to happen right now for you. The last card was the Page of Cups, so a lot of you are dealing with, you're waiting for this offer, and I feel like this offer that you're waiting for, like maybe this wish that you're waiting for to come true, as soon as you really stop focusing on it, it's going to come in. The page is like about surprises and stuff. If you can look closely, you can see, man, maybe one day I feel okay. So it talks about, like, you see how that man has that cup and it has a fish in it? It's a surprise. So I feel like it's going to be a surprise one day when you actually get to that point in your life. So that is all I have for you, group 4. I hope this reading helped you, and thank you for watching my video. Bye. So group 5, man, group 5, we've made it to the end of the video, and y'all are full of pain. Why are you full of pain, group 5? A lot of you are going through a painful process. This could be the dark night of the soul. We've had a lot of dark night of the soul that has come up in this whole video, but a lot of you are going through this right now. A lot of you have just had pain in your life. This could have been pain from your past lives that has followed you here. It could be family members have been lost, heartbreak, things have been taken away from you. This could be homes. This could be your personal belongings. This could have been your innocence, whatever that could mean. It just popped up. But a lot of things have been taken away from you, and it has been causing you a lot of pain. You could be very depressed as well. You could have been dealing with a lot of mental illnesses. I'm sorry. Let me move that over. I keep swinging my arms. You might be dealing with a lot of mental illnesses. Well, not a lot, but some of you are. You're just in pain, is what I'm seeing. And so am I with that voice. So I have a card for you. This is from my Ariana Grande deck I just made. I didn't just make it. I've had it made for a while, but I have a card in my hand. I have a song written on here and some lyrics, and I'm going to interpret how this relates to you. So the song is called, it's one of her new songs, it's called The Light Is Coming. And the song goes, the light is coming to give back everything the darkness stole. How can they tell you shit that you've been through if it ain't your view? That's the bottom line. For a lot of you, you're a very blunt person. I feel like despite, ooh, I'm kind of loud. It's late. I feel like despite the fact that you're going through pain, you always see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know one day it's not going to always be like this. A lot of you go through criticism a lot for what you've been through. You might meet people who don't believe what you say, and you might have to set them straight a lot of the time for whatever reason. I get a lot of you are always defending yourself or your opinions for some reason. That might be a part of that pain that you experience a lot of the time. The first card is Daydream. This could be about multiple things. You could have a crush on somebody. You could daydream a lot. You could be a Pisces. That might be one thing that we have here. Pisceans tend to go through a lot of pain as well because of they're always in fantasy land. This is a very general, a very general outlook on what a Pisces would be. So if you're a Pisces, don't get offended. but a lot of Pisces people, Pisceans, I think, they have to go through this like reality phase. Reality is like pushing itself into their daydreams, and it's very shocking for them sometimes to go through that. So you might be a Pisces or have Pisces heavy in your chart. But for a lot of you, you daydream a lot. You might daydream about your future life with your lover, your crush, whatever. You might daydream about the perfect life, the perfect home. Daydream normally is about it's about a person normally. It's about just someone you daydream about a lot and someone that you really like. So you might really like somebody out there. You might just be a dreamy ass person, is what I'm seeing. But I feel like a lot of times, especially for manifesting in the house, you might visualize a lot when manifesting with the law of attraction and all that. And for some of you, I feel like you think a lot about a house. There is a house that will not stop nagging at me from spirit. So there is a damn house involved in this. A lot of you want this house and you've been daydreaming about this house. I feel like you're gonna get this house. I don't know why, but there is this house, man. There's this fucking house. We have strategy here. A lot of you are very strategic in whatever you do. Maybe there's the strategy of how you're gonna get that house. For some of you, maybe in your life, when you want to go for something, you plan it out a lot. Well, that would be what strategy is, right? You plan a lot of things out. Maybe this is about a love interest that you have. But no matter what, there might always be some type of plan that you put in place to get to some goal you're trying to reach. Your job or your career or whatever might be based on strategy. I'm getting a lot of you might play video games as well. Not a lot of you, but maybe a few of you might play games that involve strategy. I'm getting like first person shooters. That's for maybe like one of you. But that could be what it is. But there's a lot of strategy in this. There might even be like you might work at a firm or something, or maybe at a construction site where you have to have blueprints and plans and stuff. We have left out as the last card. A lot of you might feel left out in your life. I'm getting heavy, once again, Pisces energy, feeling left out, so you go into your dream world. But a lot of you might feel left out in your life, period. This could be for whatever reason. You could have been left out in family situations. Maybe your siblings got a lot of attention and you didn't. I'm not really sure. My hair looks weird now. Ignore it. You might have just felt left out. This card is based off of the Five of Pentacles in the Tarot deck, so maybe you have felt left out in the cold by somebody. Maybe it is that daydream, that crush that you have. They might have dissed you a lot, but you might have always just felt like lonely and left out, and always maybe like the second best in your life. So I'm gonna shuffle some cards and get some clarifying words for you, and then we'll be done. And that fell, and that's annoying. One card just fell. See if I can get it with my foot. Oh my goodness. It's so hot and I'm tired. Damn it, I dropped it again. Oh, another card fell. I don't know if that's for you. I'm not gonna grab it. Any day now, we'll get there. Let me read this card on the table. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. So a lot of you, like I said, are manifesting abundance, and it is coming for you. You might just have a lot of material wealth in your life. You might be very wealthy, always find a way to make it work. Oh, you have the Queen of Pentacles too. So when you get things, I feel like you nurture the hell out of it. You take very good care of it. We're getting Earth here again, so you might be an Earth sign, a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. But not all of you. It could also be in your chart. Check out your chart and pull some more cards for you. We have the Hermit. So especially with that left out and daydream card, you might just be a very hermit type person. You spend a lot of time alone and you just don't really talk to a lot of people. This might be your phase now where you're just in hermit mode. For whatever reason, maybe you've experienced pain recently, like we had earlier in the reading. So you could just be in hermit mode trying to find a way to get over that. We'll get a few more cards. Okay, that came out in reverse. So a lot of you are definitely going through some type of pain right now. Because I just saw this popped out in reverse, the Three of Swords. So there could have been a love relationship that just happened to end for you. And you probably are now getting out of that heartbreak, that pain. This isn't for all of you. Some of you are just dealing with something that really broke your heart or really made you feel disappointed. And now you're getting out of that. This could have been from an air sign, though. An air sign individual. So Aquarius, Libra, or what's that other one? Gemini. So yeah. But I'm seeing, okay, I'm going to show you both of these. So we have the Five of Swords and the Six of Wands. I feel like a lot of you are these people in this photo. God damn, you can't see. It's just two people walking away crying. You might have been that person at one point, because I don't feel like you're the person who caused that mess. I feel like there was a loss here for you, but in the end there's going to be some really nice victories and you're going to be really, really happy. So as far as your personality though, this is just about you always finding a way to get happy again, always finding a way to succeed and rise above. So especially with this card, this man's on a horse, so you definitely find a way to rise above. So I hope this helped you, group 5. That's all I have for you. Thank you for watching my video, and if you guys are still watching from the previous groups, thank you so much for watching. I hope this resonated. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments if it did. I've never said that before, but let me know if it did resonate. I love when you guys comment. It always makes me feel really nice. Really nice. When I talk, I talk really fast. I got that Gemini moon. So, but yeah, thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.